Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Lake Journal. I'm Tom Hellick. The Adirondacks are home to some of the most beautiful lakes and waterways. And one that many call one of the crown jewels of the Adirondacks is Lake George. But the beauty and tranquility of the lake were shattered on a picture-perfect, warm, sunny fall weekend 10 years ago, when a boat taking a group of elderly tourists on a sightseeing trip suddenly capsized and sank. All 47 passengers on board the Ethan Allen were thrown into the water. 20 of them drowned.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
This fall, Lake George marked the 10th anniversary of the tragedy with a memorial service honoring the victims.
For those visitors aboard that day, joy turned to sorrow, laughter to chaos, and pleasure turned to disaster. Virginia Szynski, Carol Gilson.
A few of the victims' relatives returned to Lake George for the memorial service, reliving what is one of the worst disasters in New York State's history. For Cheryl Theveridge and her family, it was an emotional return. She was in Michigan that weekend 10 years ago. She got the call from her mother.
She was in the hospital, and she didn't know where my dad was or if he was alive.
Anna Mae and Earl Hawley were sightseeing on the lake when their tour boat, the Ethan Allen, capsized, throwing everyone into the water. Cheryl would soon learn that her 73-year-old father had died. She flew to New York to be with her mother, who survived. She hadn't been back since, but this fall, she and her family decided to drive the 600 miles from eastern Michigan to Lake George to attend this memorial service that commemorated the tragedy on that day in 2005 that took her father's life and 19 others.
I miss him. My dad was a very strong and very kind person. I miss him every day.
First responders that went out on the lake that day placed wreaths around a stone monument dedicated to her father and the other victims.
Why did you come here today? Why did you want to be here for this service?
It was 10 years. I had just lost my mom. I just really wanted to come.
And along with community members, they thanked local rescuers like Munir Rahal and his wife Joanne, who rushed to the scene that day to help pull the elderly passengers from the water before first responders could arrive.
Do you relive this every day?
Yes. A lot of things will make me think of it. I said to my daughter on the way down, we were looking at the colors in the trees, and I said, it's nice, but it's kind of sad, because that's what they were doing. They were on a colored tour, and they love to travel.
Was blind, but now